Welcome to Lesson 5.4, Extension and Condonation of Delay. In this lesson, we will explore the Limitation Act, 1963, focusing on how it provides mechanisms for extending limitation periods and condoning delays under specific circumstances. These provisions ensure fairness by accommodating legitimate reasons for delay while still upholding the principle of timely justice. Let's dive into the key aspects of this topic. The Limitation Act, 1963, plays a crucial role in regulating timeframes within which legal actions can be initiated. However, recognizing that certain circumstances may prevent parties from adhering to these strict deadlines, the Act provides mechanisms for both extending limitation periods and condoning delays. These provisions help ensure that justice is accessible, even when procedural delays occur due to genuine reasons. By understanding these provisions, parties can better safeguard their rights and avoid procedural pitfalls. The Limitation Act, 1963, plays a crucial role in regulating timeframes within which legal actions can be initiated. However, recognizing that certain circumstances may prevent parties from adhering to these strict deadlines, the Act provides mechanisms for both extending limitation periods and condoning delays. These provisions help ensure that justice is accessible, even when procedural delays occur due to genuine reasons. By understanding these provisions, parties can better safeguard their rights and avoid procedural pitfalls. Extension of limitation. The first part of our lesson covers the extension of limitation periods. The Limitation Act 1963 allows the extension of limitation under specific circumstances, ensuring that litigants are not penalized for events beyond their control. Let's go through the legal framework for such extensions. Legal framework. The extension of limitation periods is primarily governed by Sections 4 and 12 to 15 of the Limitation Act, 1963. These sections provide a clear framework for extending the limitation period in situations where the circumstances prevent timely filing or the collection of necessary documents. Key provisions for extension. Several key provisions outline when the limitation period can be extended. The first is Section 4, which addresses the issue of court closures. Expiry during court closure. Section 4. If the limitation period expires on a day when the court is closed, the filing can be made on the next available working day. For example, if the limitation expires on a Sunday, the application can be filed on Monday, the following working day. Exclusion of time for obtaining copies. Section 12. The time required to obtain certified copies of decrees, judgments, or orders is excluded from the limitation calculation. For instance, if a decree is passed on January 1, 2024, but the certified copy is obtained on January 15, 2024, the limitation period would begin on January 16. Exclusion for bona fide litigation, Section 14. If litigation is pursued in a court that lacks jurisdiction but is done in good faith, the time spent in that court is excluded. For example, if a party files a case in the wrong court and later refiles it in the correct court, the time spent in the wrong court is excluded from the limitation period. Exclusion for force majeure. Section 15. If legal action is stayed by a court order or due to force majeure events such as war, emergency, or legislative action, the time during which the action is stayed is excluded. For instance, if a court stays proceedings for 6 months, this period will not be counted in the limitation period. Landmark case law. In the case of MP Steel Corporation versus CCE, the Supreme Court emphasized that exclusions under Sections 12 and 14 must be applied liberally to ensure fairness and avoid penalizing litigants for procedural errors. This case highlights the importance of applying these provisions with flexibility, ensuring that litigants are not unfairly disadvantaged due to procedural lapses. Condonation of delay. Moving on to the condonation of delay, this provision allows courts to admit suits, appeals, or applications filed beyond the limitation period, provided there is a sufficient cause for the delay. This provision ensures that genuine reasons for delays are considered, offering a fair opportunity for parties to present their cases. Legal framework for condonation. Section 5 of the Limitation Act, 1963, governs the condonation of delay. The section permits the court to admit filings even after the limitation period has expired if the applicant shows sufficient cause for the delay. This is an essential provision that balances the need for timely justice with fairness in exceptional situations. Definition of sufficient cause. Sufficient cause refers to a valid, reasonable explanation for the delay, one that satisfies the court. It could include a variety of reasons, such as illness, miscommunication, or unforeseen events. For example, if a party misses a deadline due to hospitalization, they can submit medical records as evidence to support the claim for condonation. Common grounds for condonation. Common grounds for seeking condonation of delay include illness or incapacity of the applicant, miscommunication or misinformation about the limitation period, natural calamities, or other unforeseen circumstances. For instance, if an applicant misses the filing deadline due to hospitalization and provides medical certificates as evidence, the court may condone the delay. Procedure for condonation. The applicant must file a formal application explaining the reasons for the delay. Supporting documents or affidavits must accompany the application to demonstrate the sufficiency of the cause. The court will evaluate the evidence and decide whether the delay can be condoned. Limitations of condonation. While condonation of delay offers flexibility, it is not automatically granted. The court will condone the delay only when sufficient cause is proven. Furthermore, the court will not condone the delay if it results in prejudice to the other party. Additionally, the decision to condone delay is discretionary and subject to judicial scrutiny. Landmark case law. In Collector Land Acquisition v. M5.4, the Supreme Court ruled that courts should adopt a liberal approach when considering condonation of delay to avoid injustice. On the other hand, in Balwant Singh v. Jagdish Singh, the court clarified that mere delay without valid reasons does not justify condonation, emphasizing the need for sufficient cause. Practical examples. Here are some practical examples illustrating the provisions we have discussed. Extension. Due to court closure. If the limitation for filing an appeal expires on a public holiday, the party can file the next working day, which is valid under Section 4. Condonation. Due to illness. An applicant may miss the filing deadline due to hospitalization and provide medical certificates to support the delay. In such cases, the court may condone the delay. Exclusion for wrong jurisdiction. If a party pursued a claim in a court that lacked jurisdiction for 6 months, that time is excluded when refiling in the correct court. Common mistakes to avoid. Here are a few common mistakes to avoid when dealing with extensions and condonation of delay. Insufficient evidence. Failing to provide adequate documentation to support the claim for sufficient cause can lead to the dismissal of the application. Delaying the application. Delaying the application for condonation can weaken the case, as the court may question the applicant's diligence. Misinterpreting exclusions. Incorrectly calculating the time exclusions under Sections 12 to 15 can result in the dismissal of the case. Comparative overview. To wrap up, let's compare the extension and condonation provisions. Extension applies automatically based on facts, while condonation requires a formal application and court approval. Extension is used in cases like court closures or delays in obtaining documents, whereas condonation addresses reasons like illness or natural calamities. Conclusion. The provisions for extension and condonation of delay under the Limitation Act 1963 balance the need for timely justice with fairness in exceptional cases. Understanding these mechanisms can help parties safeguard their rights and avoid procedural pitfalls. By recognizing these provisions, litigants can ensure that genuine delays are not penalized while maintaining the integrity of the judicial process. Thank you for joining this lesson. In the next session, we will explore key provisions of the Limitation Act, focusing on their application in civil proceedings. See you there. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more valuable legal insights and updates. youtube.com/ProLegalMinds. If you have any legal questions or need assistance, visit us at prolegalminds.com to connect with our expert team. We're here to help you navigate the complexities of the law with confidence. Stay informed, stay empowered. See you in the next session.